Hello, in this video I'm going to be talking through my track called Dismantle and everything that is in the track behind the song. Starting with the acoustic guitar. Turning all the effects off. This is what they sound like, just themselves. Originally, I just recorded these guitar tracks. I believe I used an AKG 414 to record this. But I just felt that I needed more layers of guitar. I needed it to feel a lot more full. So with these recorded in as well, that definitely helped. So with these guitar tracks, turning the EQs back on. They have quite similar EQs. This one is just boosted up a little bit more here. They have some cut off in the high and a cut off in the low, because my guitar has quite a lot of low frequency, so I wanted to leave room for that in other spaces of the track. That's not what I wanted. And this one is very similar, just slightly different. With these tracks, you can hear that difference. It just makes it a lot more round and a nice clean sounding tone. It just complements it a lot better. And then all together. And we have compression. I use the Platinum Guitar 1 effect because that's one of my favourite compressor presets to use, and I just messed with these until I found the sound that I was happy with. So turn the volume down a little bit. Turn these compressors back on. These are Platinum Guitar 2. Platinum Guitar 2, and I had Space Designer on these. And I have a tape delay on these. This came with the darker tone large garage reverb preset that I used on these sounds. I wanted like a quite intense reverby sound on the guitar, so I kept these moderately dry, which gave me a bit more room to go a little bit more with the reverb on here. So these are all recorded in one take, and that's pretty much it for the guitar. They're not really automated very much, except fading out at the end here. Moving on to the bass. I recorded these in using a Stag amp and I'm pretty sure it was an MD41 microphone. Refer to my post for the specifics. We have a bass amp, American Deep, because the preset is American Fat Stack on these. I have a channel EQ just to shape the sound a bit, cut out some of that frequency from the amp. These are panned most of the way left and right and double tracked. I have some chroma verb on here and a compressor, platinum bass. I really like the platinum range of presets if you can't tell, and chroma verb. Quite a simple bass line. It just pretty much does the same as that throughout the track. I have these in a track stack because, take folder. Some of the notes weren't right, so I re-recorded over the start of the intro, just to make sure that I had everything on the note. That is pretty much it for the bass. On the track stack, we have it going to B20 bus and a channel EQ. Just a final little brightener at the end, make sure it's not falling too fat or taking too much space off of the low end. Where does B20 go to? B20, Space Designer. Big cave entrance, dries all the way down, wet is most of the way up. The length is all the way up. Yeah, so that is pretty much it for the bass. Next we have the electric guitar. Go back to the start of the song. If I just... These are just some strums with the shoegazer effect. And we also have these. This is a preset that I made called Insane Reverb Elect. This is a modified version of New Wave Chorus, which is a preset that you can use for electric guitars on Logic. But I, as you can tell, spaced the living hell out of it. So it just creates this really nice ambience under the track that's not something that you hear initially, but you feel it. So I was really happy with these that I added in. And I really like this little intro section, because I felt that the intro needed something going on with electric, because it's a 2-bar, longer than 2 bars, but you can see it's 2 of these here, which is longer than my intros normally are in songs, so I like to fill it with something instrumentally. The effects on these, I have the EQ set to this, cutting out that low rumble, because with this shoegazer, if I turn the EQs off, you can hear it's got quite a low, like, it just resonates in a way that I didn't find very favourable to the track. So with that EQ, that just minimises that a little bit. I have a noise gate on there. Here's what the amp looks like. I have a compressor and chromaverb. That's the same effect for this one. For the Insane Reverb Elect, that's Space Designer all the goddamn way. 390 size, length is most of the way up, and wet is all the way up. And that's the same for this one. All of these tracks are double tracked and panned left and right, because I just feel that it just makes it a whole lot more full, and you can hear it and feel it a lot more than when it's just a single track. This obviously has its exceptions with this little guy here. I didn't really feel the need to double track that because it felt like it stuck through well enough anyway. So moving on to the next section of the song, we have that cute little bend. I felt if I undo everything, I wanted to add a little interesting ping with the guitar to add emphasis on that line. And I just came up with that little bend, and I feel like it really made that difference. These are on the Yacht Rock preset. These have chromaverb on them, pretty high, because I wanted it to just ring out in the track. I didn't want it to be a really obvious, like, ping of a guitar string. So again here we have the same Insane Reverb Elect preset, but this time I'm doing some higher strings up on the fretboard just to take this section to the next level, really. And then we have this shag haircut guitar. Chroma Verb doing some crazy things on the Bloomy preset. Distance is all the way up. And then clearly here we have these guitars. This is the main electric solo of the song, and I wrote this before I recorded any vocals in, so I was unsure whether it would work with the song, but I'm very glad that I wrote it when I did, and it definitely, it's what makes the song for me. And then we have that fading out of the track. This is the brown tone rock preset. For effects, if I loop this section and turn the volume down a bit. If I take all of the electric and I turn the effects off from all of it. Single. What? Hello. Thank you. Oh, this isn't making it very easy for me, is it? If I select all of this, I'm going to turn all of this off. Yeah, there we go. I go there. These are just doing some chord strums, and then these are these high strums that I wrote. Compared to So I'm very happy with the electric in this song. I feel like it definitely took it to that level that I wanted to take it to. Automation wise, we don't have a whole lot going on here, just fading this out, stepping it up a little bit, making the start of that slightly less loud, a little bit less aggressive, taking that a couple dB higher. So for the electric, that is it. And then we get on to the vocals. The vocals in this track were extraordinarily hard to master. I ended up having to re-record the vocals from the whole start of the song again due to just not really having the right emotion in the song. So once I'd recorded this end bit, I was nice and prepped and primed to go back and re-record the start of it with the same energy that I had in the end. Two of these are pan center and two of these are pan left and right. There's 4 layers in my vocal, as well as a harmony track that we will get to. These are automated quite heavily in some areas. That is to mute certain syllables that carried on a little bit longer than others in the double track. So it's just to keep them all sounding pretty much the same. That's what they sound like, completely dry.
It's been too long to tell. Down here in this world, I didn't know I fell. And I haven't got much time to save my own damn life and make all my wrongs right. There's so much waiting.
So for my vocals, we have EQs on all of them. This is the default EQ that comes with the female ambient vocal lead preset, and I didn't feel the need or feel that anything was really sticking out too much that I had to specifically go back and redo all of the EQs. I have EQs and everything on the track stack of the vocals, so that sort of covered the basis of anything that needed to be changed. I didn't feel that anything was sticking out really. As far as the compressor, the limiter and the ensemble, these are all come with the preset as well, so these were already loaded onto the track and they just had adjustments made where they needed them. And the ensemble I usually don't touch too much because I don't really know how it works, but I know that I like the sound of it on this vocal preset. These tracks have pitch correction on them. The main ones have less pitch correction because they are the front and center vocals. I didn't want them to sound too robotic, but I did want to have some pitch correction on here as it's quite an intense vocal, and I just, you know, I wanted it to sound as best as it could. And there were certain notes that clashed ever so slightly, not in a way that's like re-record it, but in a way that is nice and tidy with a little bit of pitch correction added on. All of these vocals go to bus 3. If I pull that up, B3, where are you? Vocals, that's bus 4. This is the vocal. It has chroma verb, set dry to 80 and wet to 64. The density and the distance are quite high up, and it has a de-esser on it as well. This is set to the master of tame upper mids. I found that this really improved the sound and it stopped any unwanted frequencies resonating out that I didn't want. So that is what is on the vocals. Each vocal has a different amount of effect added onto them through the bus. So this is individual to each track depending on the sound. So we've got a nice mix of dry and a nice mix of reverb. So for the vocals, that is all. Next we have harmonies. These are going to sound quite robotic and funny on their own, but
I've been holding on to parts of me long gone, grieving for too long, and nothing seems to change, the weather or the waves falling into place, but there's so much weight inside of me. Don't think bad about me, I lay. Don't think bad about me, I lay awake and I swallow pain and I accept my fate and I just lie, just lie.
So these are the harmony tracks in this song. We have 2 low melodies panned left and right and a high melody, my vocal placing itself as the middle in this harmony. These are going to bus 6 with chroma verb and space designer on them. These, as you can tell, have pitch correction on them, as I just wanted them to be an my camera stopped recording, that was not very nice. I just wanted them to be an underlying harmony that carries the vocals from underneath, but you're not specifically listening to them and hearing them as a vocal line. So I wanted them to be quite rigid on the notes that they were at. So that's what the deal is with the pitch correction. These also have channel EQs, compressor, limiter and ensemble, due to also being the female ambient vocal lead preset. in this section I added an extra harmony here with the extra high harmony because I wanted the so's to have a lot of emphasis on them in the chorus. So
don't think bad about me. I lay awake and I swallow it. I'm wasted, so distracted. It's my.
And I just felt that really added that extra level of what I had hoped. So that's pretty much it for the harmonies. And this is the end section.
I'm gonna figure it out, kid. I'll figure it out, even if I go down screaming.
For the vocal bus, if I go to B6, bus 6, yes, we just have chroma verb set to the vocal hall preset. The density is all the way up and the distance is at 85. Dry is most of the way up and wet is pretty much all the way up. Again, all of these tracks have different amounts set on them. The high harmony needed less of them and the low needed some more so that it just rung out how I wanted it to. But if the high had too much, then it stuck out in my ears, and that's not what I wanted. For the drum tracks, I have a separate video talking through the drums of this track, and that is on my YouTube channel and my WordPress if you want to look at that. But as of now, with this project, that is where I'm at. I'm going to do another video talking about my mastering process for this song.